Before we get started, we want to let everybody know this is a spoiler-filled discussion of a rather recent horror film. Today we're covering the Shudder original film, Dolly. It started streaming only a few months ago, unlike many films we cover here on the All Guts So Gory podcast. We cover a lot of films that have been around for years or decades, so if you don't want to be spoiled on one that recently came out, we'll give another warning before we take a really deep dive into this. You should be safe for the first 10 or 15 minutes or so of this
First
pod.
3 hours or so.
Yeah. Once we hit hour 4, that's maybe when you want to tune out if you haven't seen the movie yet. With that, coming up next, a film that got Justin very aroused.
Multiple
Dolly.
times.
All Guts So Gory presents Dolly.
Oh, no.
Someone's art project, maybe?
All the way out here?
That's weird.
Don't miss the film critics are calling.
Nightmare fuel.
Hello?
A truly terrifying killer.
Hey, are you okay?
A wonderfully violent backwoods slasher. The scariest movie yet in the Great Chainsaw Massacre tradition.
You're a new doll. You're gonna have to play along, play along, play along, play along, play along.
Mother.
What did you do to me?
Knows
We gotta go.
best. Dolly. This film is not yet rated.
The mad and macabre.
Oh, what monster could have done this?
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Live or die. Make your choice. Wake up, little girl. Playtime's over.
You don't know what death is.
Sliced and diced.
Welcome to the All Guts So Gory podcast. I am Mike, joined by Justin today. Charlie, unfortunately, is out. He's on a plane. Where's he coming back from, Justin?
Virginia. He was in Norfolk for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably spreading the word about our podcast.
Yeah, he's out on a marketing mission. I think,
publicity
from what I've
tour,
heard.
maybe?
Yeah, publicity tour or
Yeah,
something like that. Trying to get one or two more listeners, which would, I think, double our listenership if he gets about two more. But welcome to the podcast. Just two persons a day. Justin and I, we're going to be talking about the 2026 horror film Dolly.
Fresh off the presses. We just watched this last night. So,
Yeah. It was actually my second watch last night.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
It was. I didn't tell you that.
You know I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like to experience at the same time.
Yeah, I was going to surprise you here on the pod, actually. So we watched this for my son's fourth birthday.
He was not there.
His fourth birthday party was yesterday. We decided to watch Dolly.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ben. No, so as the party was winding down, we're hanging out and we're just like, hey, the girls went outside, the kids were playing video games. We went in another room, we're like, let's fire up Dolly. And we did. I did not tell you this, Justin. Another reason we're doing this one is we audibled. We were going to do Hereditary, but we audibled at the last minute with Charlie being absent. So Hereditary, which is Charlie's pick, will be probably the next episode we do. But we audibled and decided to do Dolly. And did not tell you that this was my second watch of it. I was going to, when it was my pick, be like, hey guys, can I do a 2026? Can I do a recent film? Is that against the rules?
The audience can't see the look I'm giving you right now.
So yeah, Dolly. I wanted to do this one because I loved it. I watched it and I loved it.
He's been saving that.
I've been saving it. This was up my alley. If you know me and some of the movies I picked, this was, this is gory. This is slashery. This is paying homage to many films that I enjoy and that a lot of people enjoy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably the biggest comp that, if you will, that is thrown around out there. Last House on the Left, things like that. Barbarian, I think there's some Barbarian links in here a little bit. X, maybe not X so much.
It was referenced as one of the ones that maybe was a similar movie. I've got a list here.
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, X, In a Violent Nature, Frontiers, High Tension, Tourist Trap, and House of a Thousand Corpses were the ones that popped up when I was searching it.
Yeah.
Do you agree with most of those? I haven't seen 100% of those, but I mean, it's not high tension, right?
No, High Tension's way different. House of a Thousand Corpses is a little different. I think they're pulling from. So this movie features a creepy house. It features a creepy villain
and a creepy family.
Silent villain.
Creepy family.
Yeah. So I think that's where like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes in. It's also a lot of daylight in this movie, which you don't get in slashers. Like you don't get the Friday the 13th comp, because while they're in the woods, Friday the 13th mostly is nighttime stuff in the woods, camping, whatever. And you get a lot of nighttime stuff. This one is a lot of daylight, which turns the tables. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of daylight. Last House on the Left, a lot of daylight.
It was shot with a 16 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So it had that grimy, gritty feel that Texas Chainsaw Massacre did as well.
Yeah.
Isolated in the woods, Tennessee. I'm sure you found that in your research. Oversized mass killer. They'd also mentioned New French Extremity as like kind of some of the DNA in this. And I can see it with some of the prolonged scenes, right? Because there's outside scenes and then there's inside scenes. We're not spoiling anything, but in the inside scenes, there's some suffering.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So I mean, I don't know. I didn't mean to skip over too much, but I told you that I love this. I was kind of playing coy when we were talking about it as we were setting up, and my brother watched this with us, and he had said, I liked it for what it was, and Justin, you were like, yeah, I kind of agree. So you want to expand on that? Or now that you know that I love this one and actually wanted to make it a pick right away?
It doesn't get brownie points with me, sir.
What do you think of Dolly?
So I use Letterboxd as my kind of diary for films and everything, like a lot of people do. So let me see what my old Letterboxd says here. I gave Dolly 2.5 stars, which I think I wanted to give it 2 at first, but then I was like, you know what, I'm not grading it. I'm not sticking true to my mission when I'm grading these things. Did it achieve what it was trying to do? And I think it did. I think it created a brand new villain that was unstoppable, if you will. It created this another scenario where it's like, don't go hiking in the woods kind of thing, or don't go, you never know what's going to happen. So I do feel like it was gory. It was gritty with the film. I think it was a good effort by the people who did it. So I'm going to go right down the middle. Maybe by the end of this episode, it might be a 3. But
do you want to know what I gave it?
What did you give it, Mike?
I gave it 4 stars
out of 5.
Nice. So an 8 out of 10.
That's good.
And even though a lot of the criticisms about this movie are the character development lacks, they're basically the same characters you would see in other horror movies where they should be doing one thing and they do the wrong thing, and that's how they end up in this situation, or they don't really expound on too much of the origin story. There's a lot of questions by the time you get to the end on why and how, but at the end of the day, like, this is a slasher. Okay. Like, this is not, we don't need everyone's origin story. We don't need to know what some of these people's motives are. Like, they're going on this trip, this couple, this fiance, or I guess boyfriend, girlfriend, right, going on this trip, and basically turns into a slasher movie.
Stumble upon a forest full of dolls.
Yeah. And then there's a creepy house that comes into play, and this badass villain. So you don't have to think too much about it. And not everything has to be Midsommar. Not everything has to be Backrooms. Not everything has to be
Hereditary.
Like, this is just a straight up, gory. Sure. They show you a lot of stuff. They show you a lot of creepy stuff, a lot of blood.
If I could nitpick what could get it to like a 3.5, I think even though the director has some credits under their belt, there was some issues where it's like, I would have done some retakes or maybe some notes, especially to Dolly, the wrestler who plays Dolly. I'd say maybe a little less of the finger stem stuff. And, it definitely went overboard on this is an autistic coded. I'm not going to say I can diagnose this person behind a doll mask or anything, but there's some mental development issues in this villain.
Yeah. And we'll get into why that is, but there's this villain is a porcelain doll head. This is not spoiling anything. It's on the movie poster. It's a porcelain doll head on a
lady
large, strong female body dressed in like a doll outfit.
Strong like ox.
Yeah, very strong. You get to see how strong she is within like the first 15 minutes. And yeah, very, very strong. Porcelain doll head, missing one eye. The other eye is there. And, she's a nonverbal character. So there's a lot of hand play, a lot of pantomiming. There's a lot. So you mentioned when we were watching it, like,
acting,
you mentioned it like when we were watching it, you're like, oh, that was a little Art the Clown, like, because
right.
She's miming too. So she makes hand gestures and like, pointing and doing whatever. And then some of it was also, as you said, was like, is that Adam Sandler
right.
doing like, Little Nicky stuff? Doing the silly Billy Madison, like the silly character stuff, like, that Adam Sandler is famous for. But yeah,
not bad. I mean, overall, I'd say the design of Dolly, is that what that's the character name?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as we know for now.
Okay. Overall, I'd say the design of this character was good. It's good. It would definitely be startling to run across in the woods. I think a fight or flight malfunction would happen. Like, you're just not processing what you're seeing. This behemoth woman in a doll, head.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the origin of this movie. It was premiered at the Fantastic Fest in 2025, got a limited theatrical release in early March 2026.
I'm going to jump in on that theatrical release because I saw like 800 screens or something on there, which aggressive but it wasn't a long time because they knew it was going to be a streamer right away. So I think it was just a build the word of mouth type of thing, right?
Yeah, this is a Shudder original, and it went to streaming on Shudder AMC Plus on March 31st of 2026. So not too long ago, only a few months back. And that's where I stumbled across it maybe 2 weeks ago. I think I watched it, before we watched it again last night.
It's got about $800,000 worldwide gross, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, last number I saw was closer to 700,000. So
yeah,
I could see that.
Looks like, did you see how many film production companies were involved in this one?
No, I didn't.
We've got Witchcraft, Mama Bear Productions, Mama Bear Studios, Monarch Entertainment, Gentile Entertainment, Set Point Entertainment, IFC, and Shudder. Oh no, those are the distributors. Sorry, IFC and Shudder are the distributors, but the other 6 companies, I guess, produce this thing.
A lot of them I see like that. I think Late Night with the Devil was another one that I think we were watching, or when we did the podcast for that, I noticed, I'm like, there's like 9 companies tied to this before they actually start the movie. It's crazy. The director here is Rod Blackhurst. His most notable work, he's got a pretty short catalog. Here Alone.
I thought it was Home Alone.
No, you familiar with Here Alone?
I'm not. It's a post-apocalyptic survival thriller is what my research tells
not
me.
Familiar with it, but yeah, post-apocalyptic survival thriller. So more stuff in the woods. I think it's more of a solo 2-person performance at times. I think 2 or 3-person performance. So kind of similar to Dolly, small cast, probably low budget. Some documentary stuff, but did a short film called Baby Girl, which is what evolved into Dolly. Some of the things that he brings to the table here is like heavy atmosphere, even if like the script isn't really the best, the atmosphere is great here in Dolly, in my opinion. Just the grit that you talked about, the way he shot it on 16 millimeter, some of the scenes even looking like it was from the 1970s with the grainy film stock, stuff like that. So really gritty, really, really raw. That's kind of stuff I like. I don't think he's stealing from anybody. I think it's just a style. And I like that.
I'm sure like when you lay things out, you're probably like, this would look best in black and white, for example, or this would look great in a certain coloring. But in this one, he was like, I want to do this on 16 mil, probably.
Yeah. So our main protagonist here is Fabianne Therese. I hope I'm saying that right. She plays Macy. She's known for a film called Starry Eyes. Haven't seen it yet, but Alex Esso, who is in Dr. Sleep, I like her a lot, and she's in Starry Eyes when I was doing some research for this. So I'll probably check out Starry Eyes. It's a body horror from what I saw. So
love body horror.
So I'm gonna check that one out. Numerous indie horror projects. Horror fans know her. She's becoming kind of a staple in the indie horror circles as being a strong female protagonist. Seann William Scott, you may know him from such films as American Pie, as Stifler, obviously.
Stifler.
He plays Chase in this film. Done some horror, Final Destination, the original, the OG, another one called Bloodline. Were you surprised to see like Stifler doing this kind of stuff?
I saw the.
He's more mature now, so it's not
marketing.
surprising. But
and he's done some. That Bloodline is more in that horror reign too, like you said, Final Destination. No, yeah, he's older. He's done things like Goon and like some
Goon's
other.
hilarious.
Goon's good, yeah.
Role models,
Bulletproof. Like he's done some things that are better than Stifler was, right? I was hoping he'd call somebody Shipwreck though in this one because that would have been awesome.
Right.
Hey,
I mean, that
Shipwreck.
He probably can't. I mean, he's Stifler to everybody. And there's certain people that you play a character like you are that person no matter what else you do. Like, so anytime he shows up in something, it's like, oh, it's Stifler. Even as like Christina Applegate was getting more fame and doing stuff like Anchorman, like Anchorman came out, I'm like, oh, Kelly Bundy's an Anchorman. Like,
and Al Bundy when he was on Modern Family. It's
right.
Hey, it's Al Bundy.
And they're definitely well known for many other things, but they're always just like, like sometimes you play a character and you are that person for life. Yeah. Ethan Suplee plays Toby in this, best known for Remember the Titans, The Butterfly Effect, American History X, Boy Meets World.
He was in Blood for Dust as well, which is the other film that Rod Blackhurst did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they did a couple together. Yeah, The Hunt, a horror movie that he's in as well.
Great. Yeah, that'll be on here one day, I promise.
Yeah. And Dolly, our villain here, played by Max the Impaler, who was a AEW wrestler. Not sure if she still is, but at least she got some dark matches, which is where you're like developmental matches they don't put on TV, but they air them on like YouTube and stuff like that. So was doing that. I'm not sure if she still is or not, but that's you can tell they went and found a hulking figure to play this person.
It's a big lady.
Yeah. Unique. I think it was a great performance. Not much you had to do. There's no dialogue here, but it's a unique villain, that's for sure. And they had to find a specific kind of person to play it.
Right.
I think they did. They nailed it with that.
Talk about some of that after the spoiler alert.
Yeah. Metacritic score 46.
Critics liked it more though.
Yeah.
Some of them.
For Metacritic 46, I think that's, like 54 points too low. But,
oh, wow.
No, just kidding.
You mean, what was your 80 that you gave him?
Yeah. Critics gave it a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score only 46%. Are you surprised by that?
I think they both should have been in that 50 range. Or you can't hear me, Ken. Yeah. I think they both should have been in that 50 range, to be honest with you.
I mean, I feel like movies like this are where 55. The critics are expecting something else and the audience is like...
You're thinking that the audience
I'm thinking that would be switched. Like the critic score would be like 46. And the audience would be like 60, 65.
The director did a couple cool things in this movie. Not necessarily in the directing of the actors, but they did some shots which were more artistic. There's one falling scene where there's, it's almost like Argento type thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that might have been what pushed the critics in a little higher than the audience. They didn't recognize what, flair they were bringing or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And yeah, there was, you can tell maybe this being a newer director on the block that he's trying new things. And so he's paying homage, like you said, to Argento with some of that and some of the transitions from shooting in like chapter style. So there's a chapter 1, a chapter 2, a chapter 3.
I think there were too many chapters. I'm just going to go out here and say 7 chapters is too many.
Was there 7? I thought
there was at least 6.
I think it was 6.
Maybe.
But some of them were like only 10 minutes, like short, but still. But yeah, so shooting in like chapter style is kind of like, I think, a Tarantino thing.
Right.
He likes to do. And then Argento, you can tell with the transitions, like that's very
and he him. I think there was a reference to Toby Hooper. There was a Hooper mine or something referenced in this one.
When they're hiking, there's a sign that says like Scenic Overlook, and that's Overlook Hotel. There's Hooper's Mine, which is Toby Hooper. Toby is a character in the movie.
So yeah, definitely
Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque homages paid there. So let's get into the scene by scene. Are you ready for this?
Well, let's warn them again.
Yeah, this is your final warning. So
You may want to bounce now if you're going to go take what we've given you and be like, you know what? Let's check out this hour and 20-minute movie, right? On streaming right now. So it's worth your watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go do that.
So if you have not watched it, go watch it. This is a great horror movie. If you like slashers, you'll like this.
This is a okay horror movie. It might be good by the time the podcast is done, but it was fun.
Yeah. All right. So here's your final warning. Spoilers starting now. Okay. At the end, Darth Vader's Luke's
got his
father.
damn hand off.
Right?
He's
Okay.
like, no.
But for real. All right, Dolly. So we start off where we get some real grainy footage and there's flies in a bedroom.
Right.
Lots of flies. Like an uncomfortable amount of flies.
Lady sitting on a bed. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Zooms out a little bit. You start to see.
You see flies. You're probably like, oh, somebody's probably dead in there.
Right.
And not only is somebody dead in the bed, they're headless.
Yeah.
And there's blood all over the place. And Dolly is sitting there on the bed, and we just see the back of her
hulking figure in a satin type, not satin, like a sateen, like what's that thick, almost like suede. I'm asking the wrong person.
You're asking the wrong
Looks
person.
like Santa Claus suit, but turned into a dress. Right?
Yeah.
And she's got a porcelain doll head. So this is unique. This is different than anything you've seen.
Yeah. My mom, who does not like this stuff at all, walked in and was like, "Is that Santa Claus?" I'm like, "No, not quite." And then she's like, "I'm gonna watch this." She stood there for about 10 seconds and then left the room. She does not like this stuff at all. Let's see here.
Smash cut to Casey and Chase. What are their
Macy.
names? What?
Yeah, Macy. So after we get this opening where they show you Dolly, they cut to chapter 1, which is Mother. And I don't have all the names of the chapters.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 is basically where they introduce you to Macy, and she's having a conversation with a little girl in her car. And Chase, he is this girl's father, and he is dropping this little girl off at his mother's house to watch her for the weekend. It sounds like that Chase and Macy are going on a weekend getaway into the mountains to do some camping.
Romantic
and
overlook,
he
right.
is going to propose.
Right.
So
she's not thrilled about it. Smash cut to her in the car, not being thrilled that he knows she's going to, or she knows he's going to propose, but that's where we're at.
Right. And so then she has like a little conversation, FaceTime with her friend, and that kind of gives us the time period we're in. We're in the present because at first you see this old footage,
65 Mustang.
Yeah.
Or mid 60s Mustang.
Right. Yeah. And then they're sitting in like a mid 60s Mustang. So you're kind of like, oh, does this take place in the past? But then she's like on her iPhone.
Right.
We're like, okay, she's FaceTiming. So we're in the present. So they introduce these two characters, and then they go off on their excursion. They park the car, some playful flirting, some playful games about, losing the keys or whatever. And they go off on their camping excursion.
Not bad chemistry between the two of them.
No. Yeah. Short scene, but they're going camping. And Chase takes her to this really nice place up, hike a little bit, and they get to this really nice place that overlooks it's called the Scenic Overlook.
Yeah.
It overlooks a big valley, a river, some big mountains out in the distance.
Not without red flags, because they pass through a clearing that is just jam-packed full of like dolls and shit. All old-time creepy dolls.
Yeah.
The ones with the cloth bodies and the plastic and ceramic heads or porcelain heads or whatever. So
right. And he's talked about going up there when he was a kid. Now I remember coming up here and all the time and blah, blah, blah. So there's some... they're setting up the emotional tie between the two and that he has with this place. It's the calm before the storm, if you will, that most horror movies have.
Little subtle foreshadowing where she picks up one of the dolls and says, "This one looks just like me." Right. So a little bit of that we're going to see here in a minute where she becomes, a life-size doll for a little bit. But
I thought one of the dolls looked like a child version of me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
But then we get our next appearance of Dolly. There's this, strange figure in the wilderness. You're talking about the dolls. There's almost it's almost set up like, what would you call it? Not an art project, but it's set up in a way. All these dolls are set up in the woods in a way that it's
like a visitation, or it's like a funeral. Where she's got them a bunch of dolls around a pit that she dug.
Right. And she's carrying the headless body out to this pit and dumps it in
at morning.
a hole.
Yeah, morning this
that's surrounded by dolls.
Don't know if it was her favorite doll. We don't know anything. It could be a mom, could be a sister.
Yeah.
Could be anybody right now.
Yeah.
We don't know.
There's a lot we don't know because when we get to the end of this, there are more questions than answers, I think.
It's like the back rooms.
Yeah. Maybe not that many questions, but yeah.
So she picks up that radio, starts playing my jam, whatever that little creepy tune is.
Some toy radio playing a tune.
Which then makes their two paths collide, right?
Yeah. So they're building up the dread. They're establishing her as this force that she's carrying this full-size body through the woods effortlessly. Well, almost full size. It's missing a head. Right. So it's missing about 8 pounds, right?
Got a little ahead of yourself there.
Yeah. So is Chase, is he about to propose here at this spot?
Yeah,
and then here's
he pulls the backpack.
in the distance.
He pulls the ring out of the backpack and he's looking at it, psyching himself up because, it's, I guess, nerve-wracking for him.
Right.
But then something before the music actually makes him put the ring back away. Something wasn't right. Then he hears the music and does the...
I'm going to go check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Like it was coming. Yeah. Randy would have been like the meme, the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Even Macy is like, you're breaking the rules.
Yeah, the rules.
Don't
stay on the trail. That was
stay
her
on
rule.
the trail.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of your Boy Scout rules? Or something she said.
I'm not a rule follower.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go check it out. And obviously that's where he comes face to face with Dolly. And Dolly immediately does not like him, picks him up, chokes him.
Yeah. He just walks like right up to her and it's like taps her on the back. And like,
excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah. Turns around and no, she is not okay. And he's about to not be okay.
I would say that, what's his name? What's Stifler's real name? Seann William Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Is, at least 160, right? Probably 160 pounds or so, maybe. Yeah. And it doesn't look like any camera tricks that she's picking him up by the throat like that. Obviously, there's wrestling tricks that are involved in it too. But, I mean, pretty impressive.
Yeah. Grabs him around the throat, lifts him clean off the ground like the Predator would do to Arnold. Just like can grab you and lift you up by the neck with ease.
Importantly, makes him unable to talk.
Mm-hmm. Probably crushed his windpipe a little bit.
Yeah.
And
him down.
Drops him to the ground, and then she pulls out her shovel, which seems to be her weapon of choice.
Yeah.
It comes back quite often.
Don't see it, people, a lot of, most of the time we see shovels as opportunistic weapons.
Yes.
We don't see it as hey, I'm going to use this.
It's not the chainsaw.
It's
not, it's not a machete. It's not finger knives.
In this situation, I guess it was there because she dug that pit, right?
Right.
But she seemed very handy.
She
with
uses
the shovel.
it often.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she takes the shovel and he's laying on the ground and he doesn't make much of an effort to get away.
Right.
Nitpick
That's
number
my
one.
thing is you got to scramble, dude. You got to do what you can.
Yeah. Even if you don't have a windpipe, you can't talk, you can't yell, whatever. And
you move your legs.
And she puts the shovel right on his kneecap, right between the tib and the fib. Or the, what do you call it? Femur and your tib fib, right in the middle of that kneecap.
The taint?
Yeah. Nope, not there. And then she just, she's digging a hole right through his knee.
Oh yeah, like it was frozen ground. Like she jumped on that.
That's gonna be like 18 to 24 month injury.
You're gonna have to go see Dr. Andrews. Isn't that the guy?
Yeah, he's gonna go to Dr. James Andrews, and even he's gonna be like, "What in the fuck happened here?"
And they're gonna send him overseas to that German blood platelet place. He's got to get rushed back.
Yeah, so he's gonna be torn MCL, ACL, meniscus, patella tendon, all that stuff. Just
all those things
shot. Yeah, shovel through the knee. Doesn't sever it, but he tries to stand up later and forgets that it's been destroyed.
Well, and the brutality doesn't stop there. Obviously, the brutality next goes to the fight between Chase has his hands on the tip of the shovel, but she's putting it into his mouth.
Yeah,
and she wins that battle.
Yeah,
she
splits his jaw open with a shovel. Have not seen that in a horror movie yet.
No, yeah. So
rips
rips skin and jaw down, so it almost looked like it was a snake opening up its jaw to swallow something.
Yeah,
but it was pretty gross, and we assume, probably rightly, that he's dead.
Yeah, she shoves a shovel through his head, and then they cut to black.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, man, Stifler didn't last long.
Right, and then Macy sees him later, and he's still lifeless, looking there, eyes open. I think, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yes. No. We cut to him later
Well,
they cut to him in the
glances
woods.
over.
He wakes up. She's in the house when he wakes up.
She saw him in the woods. There was a quick cut where she saw him laying there and like she thought he was dead. Then she sees our titular character here.
Yeah.
She puts the titular.
No, later she does. Yeah. So at this point, Macy's like worried, and Dolly, she comes across Dolly, right? Dolly's chasing her through the woods. The chase is on. And then she goes back and she finds the bag, Chase's bag, and she gets the ring out of it.
And the tiny pocket knife.
And a little pocket knife, yeah. And it's like, did she forget she was being chased for a second? Because she takes her time. And then Dolly shows back up and we're like, yeah, you're still in this chase.
There were a couple times where they forgot they're not out of danger in this movie.
Right.
And that I think is like
another nitpick of, but it's all, is that like just.
That's horror movies.
That's horror movies, man. That's slashers. Like they're not the smartest, brightest people.
Danger makes you do certain things.
Right.
And forget to do things, apparently.
Yeah.
But then she falls and hits her head on a rock.
Yeah. And she's off running again, trips and falls, hits her head on a rock, and knocked out. So when she gets knocked out, Dolly comes back upon her, and Dolly
wakes up in a crib.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah. She was in like a bassinet, like a crib, like a rocking crib kind of thing.
Right off the bat.
I think so. I think basically they might show her carrying him a little bit, but like by the time Macy wakes up, she is dressed like a doll in a crib, rocking a little bit with her legs splayed over it.
Yep. So she's carried into this house, and this is where we are introduced to this creepy house, right?
The house.
Which
do you think that was just happens? They found this house in the woods in Tennessee, and they're like, we're going to use this shit.
I couldn't tell if they put this in.
I'm sure they added stuff.
If they just found like a clearing in the woods and they maybe put in this house, like the exterior of it, or I couldn't tell if I'm like, this house looks awfully big to be just here.
Yeah.
I feel like it was CGI'd in.
Okay.
Maybe, and then maybe the interiors were shot on a soundstage or something.
There were a few CGI things in this one that were noticeable, like
because you never see them go in and out, other than through the window.
Through a window, yeah.
But I think they don't show. It's not like the Texas Chainsaw House where it's there and it still is there, and you can go eat food there. Apparently, it's a restaurant now. But
I'll have to watch it again to look for hints and tips.
Yeah, I'm sure the more famous the movie gets, the more facts and shit will come out that we'll be able to learn more stuff about the behind the scenes. But I feel like this house I don't want to say it could have been CGI'd in as Dolly's walking up to it carrying Macy.
We do see close-ups of a window where Dolly's looking out it, and when Macy jumps out the window, it immediately cuts to that dreamlike fall. So that kind of stuff does hint at the fact that maybe this wasn't shot on scene.
Yeah. So now we get to the, trapped in a horrible house horror part of the movie, right? So Macy, as you said, wakes up in a crib and dressed like a doll. The crib is obviously too small for her. Dolly comes in. Does she get out of the crib and then hears the voice yet? Or is that later?
She climbs out of the crib and somebody's like, who's that in there?
Another person is on the other side of the wall in this bedroom.
We assume another survivor, probably.
Right. And so we're trying to, who's this person?
Yeah. So he advises her to play along. You're a play toy. You're a doll. Yeah. And she's like,
that's the only way to make it through this. And
Yeah. So he at first glance, he seems like he's helping her.
Yeah.
Right.
I have seen enough horror movies that on my first watch, I was like, oh, that ain't going to be good.
Don't trust that guy.
Don't trust that guy. Seen enough horror movies. I've seen enough that I was like, I don't trust that guy. And later on, you can't.
Yeah.
So she starts being treated like a child. And this is where I'm like, okay, so who is Dolly the villain? Is Macy Dolly because she's being treated like a Dolly?
That's what I said, yes.
By the villain?
I think it's a Dolly and a Dolly.
It's both. There's double meanings to who's Dolly and who is the doll and who is mother. Right. And, she's if Macy gets married to Chase, she's going to be a stepmother to his child. And so that's why the first chapter, I think, is called Mother, but then also Dolly is in there. So is she the mother of all these dolls? It's a lot of different.
I think they tried at first with the chapters, and then later it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Right. So it gets really disturbing here. There's a scene where Dolly changes Macy's diaper because she's pissed herself in fear. And so she puts her on the kitchen table
That's one of the arousing parts you said, right?
For you.
I've never seen that in a movie before where it's like, okay, she pisses herself and then, obviously it's okay. We'll take you down and clean you up and put you on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Don't put your baby on the kitchen table. That's gross. People eat on that.
I mean, you got to put a mat down.
Yeah.
If you've got a baby, you've had a little mat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can put them on a sofa. You can put them wherever. But
so, yeah, she started off by trying to play with Macy, like pushing the cart in and then the cart being pushed out.
Yeah.
And then the baby comes in with a different face on it. There was something weird that happened.
Oh, that was later.
And that's when Dolly came in. She sees the whole thing and she pisses herself.
Right.
Comes down.
That's where I thought that was later. That's when I thought she woke up in the crib, but that was later in the movie.
That is when she wakes up in the crib and we start to see that she wants to play with her like a doll.
Okay.
Like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. With pushing the bassinet in.
And there's some kind of scramble and that's when she pees herself.
Okay. Yeah. She gets to the kitchen, pisses herself. That's how she gets to the kitchen.
Did she get to the kitchen? Do you remember? Did she
yeah.
Or was she carried to the kitchen because she pissed herself?
No, she pisses herself in the kitchen. I think out of fear she peed like on the floor or peed herself, leaked on the floor.
I get it.
And then she puts her on the table and she's kind of starting to play.
She peed a lot too. Did you hear how that diaper splashed on the ground?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. Big, wet squelching.
Wet squelching.
Yeah, she's bringing the diaper over and she's like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. No.
And
So
then
she gets her diaper. This fully grown adult woman gets her diaper changed like a baby, gives her a pacifier. She doesn't want that, but she takes it. And then she won't eat food.
Because it was like this green slop.
Yeah.
It was
so
disgusting.
She spits the food out and gets spanked for it.
Yeah.
She gets spanked.
She gets spanked for that? Or was that because she wouldn't take the bottle?
Or the bottle came first?
The bottle was after the slop.
Okay, so she wouldn't eat the slop, and then the bottle that came out, she was going to feed her with a bottle that looked like it was old. You could see the chunks in the bottle, and she's, God help her, she sipped on it for like 5 whole seconds before just being like,
and then threw it up, and then
threw that up. Then she gets spanked. Yeah. Dolly picks her up and spanked the shit out of her, I think, at that point.
Isn't that after she caught her, after she bit her nipple off? I think that was the punishment for biting the nipple off. Or was that not it?
I think when she bit the nipple off is if she gets away. Like starts to get away.
I can't remember the sequence on that one. But
yeah. It's a whole fucked up.
So in this kitchen,
scene.
A lot of shit happens.
Yeah.
We see somebody whip out a tit and breastfeed Macy. And Macy, obviously, I think everybody knew this. I'm surprised Dolly didn't see this coming, that she was going to use this to bite a vulnerable part and escape, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she tries to, and then she tries to escape and all the doors and windows are boarded up. She tries to rip something off the door to get out, but doesn't try very hard. But
she gets
basically
spanked.
There's no way out.
She gets spanked and then taken into the room, and then she gets kind of comforted to sleep. Isn't that what?
Yes.
Okay.
Then Dolly starts to rock her to sleep.
Yeah.
And yes. Okay. So Dolly rocks her to sleep after spanking her and calming her down and consoling her. Then she wakes up the next morning and
this
she
is after, in the kitchen. She had was this, where did she get the pocket knife in the hip? Because that was a lot of blood that
later.
Came out. Okay.
Yeah.
Later. She bumped it on something in the kitchen. And then she pulled it out and she started bleeding all over the kitchen.
Right. Was it when she was going? It was before she was going to the basement, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. You're fucking me up.
Yeah.
You're throwing out stuff we haven't got to yet. You're fucking me all up. It's all good. We'll get there. So we get to, that disturbing scene leads to, I think there's a cut where we see that Chase is now alive
in the evening. Yeah, it was nighttime.
It's dark time. It's dark out. It's dark time.
It's dark time.
and Chase wakes up. He's still alive, and we're both like, "Oh shit, he's not dead." But this is an amazing prosthetic they put on him.
I think a mixture of CGI and prosthetic, maybe,
because it is his bottom jaw is split open about the size of a shovel, and it's hanging down like he can't close his mouth
just by his skin and
it's hanging on by like a thread on both sides, and is as wide as a dinner plate. It's pretty wild looking.
Well, I think I said he's got to get like something to wrap it, like those old timey toothaches.
Yeah,
tied above his head,
right? To close his jaw and tie it around the top of your head for sure. And this is where I think Macy woke up in the crib late, or maybe not, but
It could have been.
we hear, then the voice on the other side of the wall. When she wakes up then in Dolly's arms, she gets out of her lap.
Dolly falls asleep. Yeah.
Dolly's asleep. And then she goes creeping down the hall, and she goes right past the door. And as she's going by the doors, when we hear the person in the next room again, like going like, "Oh, you're okay," like, or "Oh, I hear you," or whatever. And he lets her know like that you need to get a key from the basement. And how he knows this, we don't know at the time, but that she needs to go to the basement and get a key.
So here's why I think.
And she's like, "Shut up, she's asleep. Like, don't say anything." And she's trying to find a way out.
One of the criticisms is there seemed to be a lot of like getaway, captured again,
Yes.
like, and
Yes.
without a lot of to do, if you will. So like, I believe when she's rocked to sleep, she already has the key on her neck because she took it back from Macy.
Okay. Yes.
Because she dragged her by the ear and ripped her ear off.
That's right. Is that when she rocked her to sleep?
After she sewed her ear back
Right.
on.
Okay.
And that's when
she gets to the basement first.
Yeah,
so she finds the key hanging from the head of the body, woman with no body. There's a head on a stake, and the key is wrapped around it. She takes the key. Dolly shows up in the basement, grabs her by the ear, drags her back upstairs so hard you hear her be like, "Not my ear," and she like throws her across the room by her ear, and her ear's like hanging off.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dolly picks her up, consoles her, sews her ear back to the side of her head. Yeah, another gruesome little scene.
Here, let me try to recap what happened. So in the kitchen, Dolly loses a lot of blood, passes out. She tries to look at windows and stuff to get out. Maybe heads upstairs, and then Dad says, "You got to get the key." Maybe.
Yeah.
Then she goes downstairs.
Yeah, we watched
to find the key.
Yeah.
Goes downstairs, find the key, and that's when Dolly grabs her ear and rips her back upstairs.
Yeah. So there's multiple escape attempts, and there's, I think, like
so much so that
a couple escape attempts, and then they catch her, and then another one, and they catch her. This goes round and round a couple times. She does eventually get to Toby's room with the key to free him, which I think is what the key was for. She goes in the room. It's dark. Definitely not looking like a bedroom. He's kind of sitting in the corner of the room. Sees some food scraps on the floor. There's blood on the wall. And then there's a dead man in the other corner that he claims to be his brother. Toby's like, "That's my brother. She killed him. She made me watch," whatever. Toby takes Macy hostage at that point, comes up behind her, grabs her in an attempt to, I think, to get Dolly to let him free. Maybe,
yes.
But I think we also find out that Toby is Dolly's abusive father.
Yeah.
And so he's the father of the villain here. And Macy starts to side with Dolly, like, because Macy then stabs Toby in the back.
Toby's about to kill Dolly.
Yeah.
Toby's like, "This is still my house," and has
her.
the shovel on her neck and is about to slam it in or something. Right.
And Macy stabs Toby in the back. Dolly punches Toby through the chest from the back. Her hand goes through his back, through his chest.
Never mind ribs.
Interesting camera shot, because it's almost like if this was a 3D movie, it would have been one of those camera shots.
Oh, for sure.
Where the fist comes right at you through the screen.
I think they cheated a little bit with some CGI on this scene too. The
hand
coming through looked a little.
It was clean. Like they were shooting it like if it was a 3D shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Looked at her through the hole though. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And then Dolly smashes his head in with the shovel. So Toby's motive is just like, "This is still my house," kind of thing. But another unanswered question, like, what's he doing in there? Why is he living in there?
I think he were to believe he did something to, her, and maybe, and like she got the upper hand somehow and just kept him alive.
Gotcha.
Threw him some chicken bones or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So he's not in charge. Dolly's in charge, but he's like, "You got to help get me out of here." But then we find out what Dolly's motive is for what she's doing.
Yeah,
is this abusive father kind of.
The point where she goes to open the door bar too, the window bar. It was like, just looked like an easy combination of moves. It didn't look like there was a key necessary on it.
Yeah, there's like a chain, but it's like she just gives it like one lift and it like doesn't do anything. Yeah. So, then we get some, Macy's fighting back. I think that's where we get the stab in the leg. where she stabs her in the hip with the pocket knife. Blood everywhere, hits an artery, it looks like, as the blood is spurting out. And Dolly falls to the floor in the kitchen. I think Macy tries to start to make her escape somehow. Goes up to the second story. She hears Chase's scream because Chase has now clawed his way through the woods, found this house. Maybe he doesn't know that she's in this house, but has found this house as he's crawling through the woods. He makes like
probably screaming her name. Like, I don't know how it would have come out as it did, but he was able to say, hey, or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But just some kind of guttural scream. She hears this, knows it's him. Dolly arrives in the room and she jumps out the second story window, like through the glass. And we're like, man, you could have done that much earlier.
Right.
But maybe it's not like your first choice to go through glass from a second story. You're going to try to find some other way, I think. Another nitpick, a lot of people I was reading on Reddit are like, she should have just done that in the first place. And I don't know that I would have done that.
Right.
At this point, now she's outside. So what are you thinking at this point now that she's jumped through the window?
Happy reunion. They're going to run away and live happily ever after. He's going to get his jaw fixed, see the best plastic surgeon in the world. Well, anyway, what I'm thinking is you're in danger still. Get going. Move.
Yeah.
But they're like hugging and shit. I love the shit out of you and your daughter and all that stuff. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. One thing we didn't mention, Dolly is wearing the ring.
Yeah, the pinky finger.
Yeah. Forgot to mention that part. So a little more motivation for Macy, obviously, to get her. And at that point probably knows that Chase is fucked up.
Oh yeah. So we final sacrifice from Chase. Right.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of, there's a confrontation.
Dolly's going to punish
them.
Macy.
Yeah. Macy starts to get away. Chase does not. And it only took like the last 1% of his jaw hanging on to be ripped off for him to die.
So
is that what you gathered?
I not only gathered it, but I asked AI. I said, would Chase have died from the injuries that? And AI said, yes, he would have died. Well, no, they said if medical attention was not readily nearby, he would have died pretty quickly because either collapsed airway or all the veins and stuff in your throat, they would have bled out or suffocated, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it was holding on just enough.
Is this one of the grossest kills you've seen? Like that whole prosthetic, I mean, there's a lot of gross shit in horror, but
it was pretty gross. But yeah, there's to me, I think scenes much like the dad in the kitchen are rougher than that. Maybe like the caving in of heads and stuff are always rough scenes for me, you know?
Yeah.
There's been a movie recently that I don't want to spoil, but there's a smashing a face in,
sure.
Once it caves in, I'm like, oh
yeah, for sure. And there's stuff that's like gross, but it's like that's gross because it's so gritty. There's also just like bucket of blood stuff where it's like that's gross, but it's cartoonish.
Right.
Like this wasn't like cartoonish. Like this is a shovel through the fucking head, through the face, through the jaw, and it looked fucking gnarly. That what they envisioned would be left behind. It just looked gnarly as hell.
Pulpy.
Yeah, Dolly's getting like really unstable. Yeah, she kills Chase by just ripping that last.
Kind of woozy here.
Yeah,
Dolly was getting kind of woozy.
And then this is like the final showdown with Macy and Dolly, and this is your traditional slasher trying to get the final girl, and this is
very much Tobe Hooper when she's running through back into the woods, into the madness, and it's kind of spinning. Right, like the final scene where she jumps out of the window in the house of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that whole thing.
Yeah,
they do a good job of making us feel the panic and the intensity of the moment.
Yeah, sure. Yep. And she hides in the pit with the headless girl.
Falls in the pit.
Falls in / hides in the pit.
She had a few more retching noises left in her, according to my subtitles.
Yeah, and then Dolly finds her.
Yeah,
she starts to get away again.
But much like Jason and his mom, this body had some power, right? So like she hides behind this body, and Dolly's like, whoa, whatever you do, don't mess with my doll or my body. I don't know if it's a mom or we don't know who it is, but it has its own bed, right? So maybe it's her mom.
Yeah. Questions that are unknown.
Unknowable.
Another unknown one for the possible sequel, prequel, whatever they do with this series.
Once she's down there comforting that dead body, that's when it becomes shovel time for Macy. Macy starts beating the shit out of Dolly, cracking away. Actually, she cracks the mask.
She cracks the mask open. She punches the mask.
Right.
So the mask has one eye in, the porcelain eye, and the other eye is missing and is cracked. And then Macy punches it and cracks it more, and then we can kind of see inside the mask a little bit. It's just like a black charred face,
but
inside
Phantom of the Opera type thing. She like turns her face in shame, kind of like, I'm ugly now, whatever. I don't know.
Something like that. But
behind that mask,
it looked like a charred face.
It was either charred or moldy. Like there was some kind of blackness on the face.
Yeah.
Like that was just growing on there.
Something. Yeah. All you can kind of see is like an eye and a little bit of lid.
It's important to note this is like a glass. It's like porcelain, right? So like I feel like this was put on her as a younger person when her head was smaller, and some of the jaggedness underneath the mask that you see is from growing too much into it, maybe. But I don't know. There's no way to know, but that's where my mind went with it.
Okay. Yeah. And then she then whacks Dolly with the shovel across the face, which somehow does not break the porcelain mask any more than her fist did. But she gives her a whack and runs away instead of finishing the job. She comes across
they always do.
Comes across the Keystone Cop who's listening to death metal, and out checking on cars in the woods or whatever.
Foam headphones and like a Walkman or something.
Yes.
If they would have shown him before the iPhone, I wouldn't have known when this movie was set.
Yeah, right. One of those things, maybe they tried to keep this timeless by just having different things from different eras in there. It Follows did that, So, the cops in horror movies are always the dumbest, the worst. So
she had gotten the ring at this point though too.
Yeah.
Right. Because the finger was all like sideways.
Yeah. So she goes back to where they park their cars, and there's a cop there who's checking on these cars or writing tickets or something, but approaches the cop and says, "There's a woman out here in a doll mask." And the cop's like, "What? Like,
we got another one." Yeah.
Gets on the radio.
You're not gonna believe this.
Like, "Hey, we got another one. You're not going to believe it." And because people have reported this woman before, and she gets in the car, in the cop's car.
Cop or a park ranger type?
I think it was a cop.
Did he have a gun?
He didn't use it if he had it.
Well, he didn't know. He got.
I feel like, I don't know. Maybe
the shot makes
ranger.
you think that he sees Dolly. He's facing Dolly, but then he's casually opening the car door. Gets hit with the shovel.
Yeah, he sees Dolly, is like, "Hey, excuse me," like doesn't try to stop her, doesn't pull a gun, doesn't say put that shovel down.
Doesn't run around the truck.
Doesn't run, nothing. Gets his keys out slowly, drops them, then she whacks him with the shovel. Head off. Just chops his head off with the shovel.
Can't be that easy to do, right? It can't be easy to chop a head off. Like,
unless you're sharpen an edge of that shovel.
Unless you're Ash Williams and it's Linda or whoever's jumping at you.
Yeah. I don't know, but that was a good one too. And then, so now Macy is trapped in the cops' Ford Bronco or whatever, this SUV, with Dolly smashing in the windows with the shovel trying to get to her.
Funny little scene that where he's trying to play like peekaboo with her, like trying to cheer her up because she's obviously distraught, and holds the cop's head up as like a puppet kind of thing. I'm like, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah. And then she gets the keys and she gets the thing started and she runs over Dolly, and then she's off. She drives off, and this is where it ends a little bit like Texas Chainsaw, where like Sally Hardesty is in the back of the pickup driving away. She feels like she's free because the villain, she's laughing and crying hysterically as the villain lays behind, and she's just like, I'm gone. And that's how this movie ends, is her driving away, much like Sally Hardesty in the back of the pickup, riding away, getting farther away from Leatherface, or in this case, Dolly. So
they do a couple glances into the rear view to show, like, to make us wonder if she's being followed or if Dolly's alive. So they left this one. Obviously, if they did another movie, this is easy to imagine her being alive, right?
Yeah.
She didn't back over or anything. She just ran her over once, right?
Yeah, no, just the one time. I don't think she went
Didn't
back
go all
over.
serial mom on her.
No, didn't back up over and then run over and back. Yeah, just runs her over. And
What do you think about that?
off.
Do you think it's greedy to leave the movie like that? Like to be like, hey, do you want that final assurance that they're dead, or are you like happy that just in case they want to revisit the character?
I think I'm okay because if you like chop the head off, now it's
Okay.
like, and then you have a sequel where like, oh, the head is sewn back on. Now it's just like, oh, really? Like it's what you run into with Jason movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I love the series, but you really got to just ignore the fact that he is legitimately dead at the end of every one, and then somehow
Right.
comes back to life. He's been, struck by lightning and jolts back to life and shit like that, or or
Works for Frankenstein.
the electrical wires under the lake like shock him and he comes back to life. Like he's got to ignore all that shit and just focus on the rest of it. That's why, and if you focus too much on that kind of stuff, then you're not.
You shouldn't be
enjoy
watching
it.
this type of movie.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay. I think if you're leaving it for more, which looks like they are going to answer more questions. There's going to be more story to Dolly down the road. So there's a post-credits scene. Did you check that out?
Oh no, I missed it.
You always got to look for post-credits, man.
And what's
First, you
the
got to watch the credits so you can acknowledge the people that worked on the film and give
Absolutely.
them their due.
I watched them
You have
twice.
to
Now tell me what the post credit was.
So the post credits is there's a door opens and there's two cops, and I believe the cop in the middle I believe is played by the director. It looks like the director's face on IMDb when I looked him up.
Okay.
So it's him playing a cop, and there's a cop next to him, and on the other side of him is like an inmate or a guy dressed in like an orange jumpsuit, like he's an inmate anyway. And he's like, says something along the lines of like, so there's a woman with a doll head out there, and the inmate's like, yeah, I told you so. And like, they really didn't even answer any more questions. They just kind of let people they're letting someone else know what they saw and that this thing is like real.
Maybe that
out
person
there.
is in jail for a disappearance or something.
Yeah.
And they said, no,
Wrongfully
it was
accused.
yeah.
Maybe.
It was the doll lady.
Right. So, they're setting it up to tell us more about Dolly and
That could be a
introduce
good
more
sequel.
characters.
He's exonerated, whoever that guy is exonerated, and then looks for revenge for whatever. Goes
Yeah.
looking for Dolly.
Mhm.
Trouble, or if you will.
Yeah. So I'll ask you this question. Do you want to see a prequel or a sequel?
Sequel.
Yeah,
But I
give me
want
a
the sequel
sequel.
to
I don't want a prequel.
maybe tell us a little bit. Like,
I don't
you
want a
can do
prequel
it.
till down the road, and even then it's just like, okay, you're just trying to make money at this point. Sequels, I appreciate you like continuing a story on being like, okay, we're going to go back and tell this origin story. Like,
You can do both.
I don't care
Godfather
as
2
much
did
for-
both.
Yeah. Okay. True.
Same. You ranked Godfather 2 a 4 out of 5
Yeah.
too, right?
So Dolly 2 is going to be just like Godfather 2 if it's done right.
Oscar's coming.
But no, a continuation of the story. And if this end credit scene is something that is thrown into the middle of the sequel, I think that'd be pretty cool to kind of put a bow on that kind of stuff. So there's a larger story.
So-
There's a bigger universe here.
If you take a page out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the next episode is Dennis Hopper looking for revenge on his brother's death or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that could be where they go with this. Is that somebody's looking for revenge, and I'd be down with it.
Yeah. So all right, a few more questions because we got about 15 minutes left. We got a hard out time today. So
You got a what?
hard out.
Hard out?
We have a hard
Oh.
out time today. We have 15
Which
minutes left.
scene was hotter, the diaper scene or the tit scene, Mike?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, I mean, both fetishes. Big fan
And there
of.
was a spanking scene too, so like there were a few different.
There were some fetishes. There's
yeah.
something for everybody in this.
Right.
If you like,
Sprinkle of everything.
yeah, golden showers and you like spanking and
There was no scat play though.
no scat play. I know you're a big fan of that one. What do you
Gross.
call it? What?
Poop.
No,
You call
what's
it poop.
what's it called when you like being like bottle fed?
I don't know.
Isn't there a name for that? There's a name for everything.
They call that the Mike special.
No. Anyway,
yeah, we're just
baby maxing. I don't know what the fuck, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. Dolly, after watching this movie, do you think she is like a future Art the Clown? Is she like the next big thing, or do you think this is
I think
like good but not great, and we don't need more of it?
I wouldn't mind another one as long as they work on some of the, I don't know, work out some of the kinks with her portrayal of the character. Maybe take away some of the stimming that you would see in autistic people. Yeah, maybe.
But if she's nonverbal,
it's possible that it's possible. You're right.
I don't want to
there
say
is
that
diagnosis
she's not
possible, but not.
Yeah, I don't want to say that she's not autistic or whatever, but it's also like it's just how she's kind of communicating.
Right. Did you hear like little like baby cries when she was playing that?
Yeah,
I like that bit too.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with a sequel, a la Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where there's another story, a reason where people are coming back out to the house, and Dolly, overwhelms them somehow.
Yeah, it might take one more movie, but it's a costume that you can buy at Halloween, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the key to having a character that lives on, that people are attracted to, that people want to watch more of. A la Art the Clown.
I know
what I mean. You know what I mean. But like that people that brings them back to that film when you have a part 2 and a part 3. And I think having a character that you can buy a Dolly Halloween mask, it's an outfit you can put together. You can probably find that stuff at Goodwill or make it up, or they can probably just sell something like that as part of the full ensemble at Spirit Halloween. But it's something that they could market with maybe after a sequel comes out. And more people see it and are exposed to it. I think that's the key, like Ghostface,
correct me
like
if
Chucky, etc.
I'm wrong though. Like most of the costumes that you see come from big, wide release films. Well, Art the Clown came back, right? And they re-released part 1.
Terrifier 1
and in 2
wasn't a big release, but I feel like Art the Clown didn't get big until part 2.
Right.
And then part 3, was a box office smash.
And he blew up, right?
So because
everybody was wearing
after the second one, people were like, this Art the Clown is fucking cool as shit. And you go to cons and people are wearing it and dressing like it. And,
right. You recognize the sunglasses, you recognize the little
bike horn, and it's a costume you can acquire and put together, and face paint and a little hat, and you can. So
that's what I'm getting at. It's like, I think it has to have some kind of cultural moment. Right now, I think it's way away from that. As far as like, I don't think I'd say 1 in 10 horror fans have seen this one right now. Maybe more.
Not everybody has Shudder. Horror fans do.
Yeah.
But I feel like non-horror fans probably know what Terrifier is by now.
Oh, for sure.
If you say, but like they don't know what Dolly is right now.
They at least know him as that black and white clown guy, right?
Yeah.
The killer clown from outer space.
Yeah. So one more movie, and I think Dolly could be up there. If the next movie sucks, or if it's another straight to stream, like straight to Shudder, and doesn't get, Peacock picking it up or something, or Paramount Plus or HBO Max, like maybe not. Movies only clocks in an hour and 22 minutes. Is there room for more origin story? Was that a missed opportunity? Or if this movie is like an hour and 40, are you like, all right, that was a little long?
I think the origin story would have needed more sets or more more scenes and stuff in different settings where it's like you showing who Dolly is, or the house to be in a different state than it is at the point that we see it, right? So budget wise, that's probably what constricted them there. But yeah, there's room. There's 5 minutes. Give us something as to why Dolly is, but they decided to just half shock us with it. When they started with her clipping off the fingers of the body and all that stuff, I think they might have done themselves a disservice. Instead of just letting Macy and Chance run upon her, it would have been Chase. Sorry, I work with the Chance. Stumble upon her might have been more, I don't know, abrupt.
Yeah.
Something. But in that gap, those 5 minutes or whatever they cut, they could have done some kind of history where the dad's yelling at her, or how she was put in the mask. That might be how they start part 2. If I'm a guessing man, I would say that's how the next one will start, is why she's wearing this big old porcelain head.
Yeah, like Godfather 2.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
A little bit of both.
when
Prequel and sequel.
Vito's putting that doll head on.
Yeah. All right. Gore score for this.
Okay, let's lay it out. We'll rapid fire. The jaw. What else you got?
The artery, the nipple biting off,
punch through the back, ear ripped off.
Ear
That's
ripped
pretty
off.
gory.
Yeah,
a head on a doll. I'm putting this,
a headless person.
Yeah, I mean, 8, 9
flies.
8 or 9 is fair for this one.
I gave this an 8.
Clipping off fingers.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. She just takes the dead body and snips a finger off, and it just bleeds out, and just like, I don't know why, no reason for that. And she just did it.
Keep them for later.
Yeah.
If you put them in an air fryer, they're people fingers. Why not?
They're made out of people.
Yeah. 8, 9, 8.5.
Yeah, I was at 8. I think some of the ones we gave 8.5 had just a little bit more. Terrifier we gave a 9 and a 9.5.
Terrifier 1 we gave a 9.
We gave a 9.5 on Terrifier 1, and that was only because I think we all said 10 and Apollo said 9.
Oh,
because she's like, you can never go up to 10 or whatever she said. Because there's always going to be something gorier than so you can never go to 10. And I'm like, well, okay. We did give some 10s, but
all right.
But some of those are like more guts. Like this is a lot of bleeding and like missing body parts, and like the jaw thing's fucking gnarly.
There's no.
But the ones we went up to 9 and 10 are like guts hanging out. People sawed in half from vagina to vocal cords. Like Terrifier,
no
we did the 9.5. Yeah, like brains. Yeah, like
all right.
Really explicit. This is bloody, but like there's room for more if they wanted to go there.
Okay,
so that's why
part
I said
2. Part 2, even bloodier.
Exactly. Yeah. Could you escape this? Probably.
Yes.
Jump out that fucking window earlier.
At what point? Like if I come across the dolls, I'm turning around. Probably, maybe.
Yeah. If I'm
walking, like we'll come back tomorrow. I got a different spot to propose to you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, this doesn't feel right. Let's get out of here.
Got bad juju here. Or if I see somebody consoling themselves dressed in a doll head, I'm not messing with that. I'm like, we got to go, babe.
Mm-hmm. Dumbest character, would that be Chase?
Probably.
For
no.
Aborting the proposal to go check out
the cop
what he heard
in it long enough.
Oh God. Yeah, the cop's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
you could Toby. You're gonna propose, man. Don't abort that proposal. Just go through with it. Yeah. And then be like together, like, what is that? Let's go check that out.
Let's run.
Or not check it out and just enjoy your camping trip, your hiking trip.
I agree.
Body count.
Are we counting? I'm going to call it mom. I'm going to say it was her mom. We have no reason to believe it was her mom.
The headless woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom and dad. 1, 2. Chase and the cop. 4. Is that it?
That's all I counted. 4. There's nobody else in it.
Are we even counting mom because we didn't see it?
Macy lives and Dolly, we assume lives, or it's unknowable, if she's dead or not. So I think 4 is what we got.
Okay.
Did not have any other fun facts. Didn't have time to look any of those up. It's also a rather recent movie, so there's not much behind the scenes probably out there, unless you know of any.
Behind the scenes, no. I just found that it was shot in Tennessee, pretty low budget. I think I saw like 700,000 or something, but like I couldn't find good numbers on that. Yeah, that's it.
There was a funny line in the end credits with the special thanks. There's a line after that says, "No thanks whatsoever to the mosquitoes of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and poison ivy." So must have been some real shitty mosquitoes, and somebody got poison ivy, I'm sure, running through those woods.
Do you find this? Cool. Did you find this grindhouse-y?
Grindhousey? No, there would have need to be like more nudity. Macy for some reason Macy would have needed to have like her be
cut off shorts,
a bra and not like a gown.
Yeah, there was a giant tit that was ripped out.
But no, there needed to be more like sex or a sex scene in the woods.
Here's
or,
a question
or something like
that came up when I was looking up some stuff. Would you say Dolly is one of the most memorable original slasher villains introduced since 2020? Or is it simply aping like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre too much?
I think the director's definitely taking homage, and I think it's obvious homage. It's not like he's trying to reinvent anything here.
Right.
So I think it's an interesting character because there is nothing really like it that I can think of.
Like, I mean, that's
it's a woman. It's always
enough, right?
it's never, you don't really see like the
6
woman as
foot
the villain
plus woman.
slasher. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's new. I think it still plays like a 70s, 80s slasher. But it's a new character that I don't think that it's a unique character that I don't think we've really quite seen yet. And there's more to it. It looks like.
I think I gave this the same score that I gave We Bury the Dead for 2026 movies. Where does it fall? I mean, you already told me it's a 4, so out of 5. So
yeah,
this sounds like it's up in like obsession categories for you.
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's better than Backrooms.
Okay.
But you gotta, I mean, this isn't for everybody.
It's all preference too.
Subgenres. Slasher is my favorite subgenre. Slashers, body horror. Love that stuff. So that's why I have it rated so high. It's definitely, I've seen some slashers and I'm like, well, that sucked. Or some body horror where it's like, okay, this is just not a good movie. This I felt like was like a good slasher body horror movie. Plot holes, yes. Writing, character development, not great. But just a great fucking slasher, and just suspend your disbelief. Like, yeah, characters in horror movies are stupid. They do stupid things, or else they wouldn't get caught by a killer.
There were 3 on-screen kills. Which was your favorite? And not including Dolly, obviously, but we didn't count her in our kill count.
I mean, I guess, dude, just the way Chase gets mauled. I mean, the shovel through the knee, I winced, and then it's going through his jaw. Like I winced again.
I winced when they were pulling that jaw off a little bit for sure. When like the shovel in there wasn't too bad, but then when she went in to rip it, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I winced both times. All 3 times at him, because the 2 times we think he's dead, and then when he's not,
when he tried to stand, on that law, and he fell on his jaw. I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
it was almost funny.
No, it's definitely that one.
Okay,
yeah, for me. Hall of Fame. I mean, we got a couple minutes left. We got to breeze through this. I think the only thing that needs any discussion is props. I don't think our protagonists are Hall of Famers yet. I don't think our director is yet.
The diaper.
The diaper. You want the diaper prop? The bottle.
The ear.
Is this one of those that like? So we've talked about with villains like on this scale. It's like if the villain is a Hall of Famer, Dolly, then the mask, the costume is in. So we can't say like we'll put the mask in, but not the character.
Our first Hall of Fame props were 3 masks in a book, though, right?
Right, but we also have those villains in our Hall of Fame, I believe. Yeah, like Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Chucky as our initial class Hall of Fame. Well, we also have Immortal and Mortal. Right. So this one may be in the Immortal category.
In the mortal, right?
Immortal, because it doesn't look like she looks like a Jason, like she's not dying.
Well, not enough information.
She's like a Jason, but we don't know yet.
I think she's a brick house. Is what she is.
Not enough yet to put her in the Hall of Fame or even shortlist it. Probably we need at least another movie.
Short list of masks to consider. If we want to change the categories to mask and pull things out of props and move stuff around.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Otherwise, I mean, the other props are like any of the dolls like around, any like the head on the stick. I couldn't
pick out. Maybe the head on the baby doll in the basement.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's a soft maybe though.
The missing nipple.
Right, I think
just
she
the nipple.
Spit it. Just.
I hope she didn't chew on it and swallow it.
It's like jerky.
Yeah,
or gum.
The wet diaper, the missing nipple, the bottle, chunks and all. No,
the slop.
Probably no props yet.
And the bad food Hall of Fame with the runny guacamole that was eaten in Demon Night.
Yep. All right, last little bit. Final thoughts on Dolly.
All right, it's up to a 2.75, but you can't do that. So no, it's like I said, it accomplished what it was trying to do. I think maybe with a little more lore, it would have bumped up to a 3 for me, but that's okay. I mean, 2.5 is a passing grade for me.
Yeah, I'm still at a 4.
I'm still mad that you didn't tell me you watched it.
I was going to keep it a secret, make it a pick. And then I'm like, no, let's just watch this.
Gotcha.
And, you know, because we on the fly decided to watch a movie together.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
First we were going to play Scythe. And then that turned into like, I got to go. And then that turned into our wives sitting on the back porch drinking some drinks. So we're like, well, they're drinking. The kids are playing video games. Let's throw on a movie.
Yeah.
And like, let's throw on Dolly real quick.
All honesty here. I wasn't playing Scythe, I don't think.
I had a feeling. Atticus was all about it though.
I think he just wanted to play something with his girlfriend that she was over at the party for. So
yeah.
They went and worked out. That was what they did.
Yeah. Sure they did.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for Dolly. Our next film is going to be Hereditary, the Charlie pick, unless we audible again. When Charlie's back in town, he's got a week to prep that shit and get it ready for us. And he'll be your next host. Not sure if we get a mini in this week. We will.
We'll get
we
one
don't know
in.
what it is, but we'll try to get one in. This is the All Guts So Gory podcast. Please leave us a rate and review wherever you listen to your podcast. If you listen on Spotify, make sure you're following us there. You don't want to miss your favorite horror movies as we break them down. Follow us on the gram at allgutssogorypod. You can drop us some fan mail. There's a link in all of our show notes. You can leave us a message, give us some fan mail, tell us what you thought about Dolly. If you have a movie request, something you want us to talk about, drop it in there too. We like to engage with our fans, so please do that. Anything else, Justin?
No, give us some thoughts on some mini episodes that you want us to do, or I think you mentioned let us know what movies you want to see. I mean, if it passes our test as something we're willing to talk about, then we'll do it. You know, that's it for me.
All right, time to go. All right, this is the All Guts So Gory podcast. Andy, take us home.
This is the end, friend.